What is good, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Back at you with another video, and today we're gonna be getting into finally installing the oil pump gear and crank sprocket on my car. I have some free time and I don't have to drive the car to work right now, so have a few days to knock this out. And I'm waiting for the engine to cool down right now because I just got back from work. So I already got the cold air intake off, and I got the air box out, and I'm gonna have to take this piece out when I get the fan off. It does not fit with the fan on like through there, so I'm gonna have to wait. But pretty much when the car cools down, I'm gonna jack it up a little bit, drain the coolant, and once the coolant is drained, get the radiator fan off, remove the overflow tank, remove all the coolant piping. And the cool thing is I have the Mishimoto radiator. You don't have to remove it. I hope I don't have to remove it, because in all the videos I've seen, everybody leaves the radiator in and they take the fan off. But I know the Mishimoto one is a little thicker than the stock one, so I'm hoping I don't have to remove it, because it's a pain in the ass to remove it. Yeah, like I said, once the car cools down, I'm gonna jack it up, drain the coolant, get all that off, and then with this install, I got a bunch of like new parts too. I got new pulleys, like Steeda pulleys, just to make the engine bay look cleaner. I got new timing chain guides from MMR and tensioners from MMR. I don't have new timing chains. Don't really want to spend like $1,300 on timing chains right now. And I also have MMR oil pump gear and crank sprocket. So everything's pretty much MMR that I got. I know people go with MMR or Boundary. I've heard good things about both of them, bad things about both of them. It's just whatever you prefer. They're pretty much in the same price range too. And I know VMP has their own oil pump gears and crank sprockets, but it's whatever you guys want to do. And the reason I'm doing this is because the car soon enough is going to be supercharged. So with this install, I'm probably not going to go too into detail to how to do it. Alright, it's the next day. Like I said, I was not going to do it in one day, so I did get everything I wanted done yesterday. Sorry for the lighting, it's kind of dark in here, but I got the radiator fan out, got all the coolant hoses off, except this one, which I might remove or just leave it, we'll see. So today, I'm probably just going to get all the pulleys off, get the bolts of the valve covers off, the timing cover off, all those bolts, and then once I have that done, depending what time it is, because it gets dark pretty soon, probably in the next couple hours it will be getting dark, so probably get all of that off, and then tomorrow I'll jump into the oil pump gear and all of that and get that done, all the timing stuff. So I'm gonna get this going. Alright, sorry guys, I was gonna throw you on my head and time lapse me doing like taking all this stuff off, but the GoPro battery died and the other one wasn't charged, so that's my bad. But so far I got as you can see, the thermostats off, tensioners off, one of the pulleys is off. Go over to the car real quick. I got the bumper off, and so as far as I got the alternator sitting down there where my finger's pointing. It's out of the way, so I'm not even worried about it. And so next is I gotta get this off, this tube off. I cannot get this tube off for the life of me. And once I have these two tubes off, I can remove this pulley, and then I'm gonna have to run to AutoZone or O'Reilly's to get a pulley puller for the pulley down there, because I don't have one, and I'm just gonna rent one. And yes, my car is a mess down here. I know that. I had a coolant leak, and don't worry, I'm gonna clean all this up with brake clean and whatever I can to get it clean. I am going to be replacing the thermostat inside here with a Mishimoto one that opens up sooner. I think it opens at like 165 or 170, something like that, instead of 190. And got a new O-ring for it, all of that, so that's gonna be good. Alright, so updating you guys, I got everything off. Got the harmonic balancer off, water pumps off, everything is off. So all I have to do to get into the timing and get everything taken care of is take the valve covers off and then the timing cover off, and I pretty much have everything done. All the coil packs are unplugged, so all I gotta do, all of them are unbolted. Just gotta pull them, pull the spark plugs, and then lift the valve covers off. Once the valve covers are off, get the timing cover off. But I got a trick to show you guys. The harmonic balancer pulley is pain in the ass to get off. So none of my O'Reillys or AutoZones had harmonic pullers for Fords. So this one right here, part number 67005, it says it's a Chrysler harmonic balance puller, but it will work with Ford. There is just a trick to it. So let me open it. I'm gonna hold with one hand. So what you're gonna do is take the puller and let me get it down. So it will clip on, or like clamp on, not clip, but it will clamp on to the puller. The three teeth will clamp onto the back of the harmonic balancer, and with that you'll use the smallest rod and you'll put that through, and then you'll take the screw and you'll use that to pull it, and it's a 19 millimeter. But the one trick for this, since it's a Chrysler, like it fits perfect, but none of the extension rods work to pull it. So hold on, I'm gonna be right back and show you guys what I did. All right, I'm back, and I'll show you, because I already have the harmonic balancer off the car. But right here where the bolt goes for the harmonic balancer, the main big bolt, get an extension for a socket about this size, perfect size. You're gonna put it through like that, and then let me go grab this real quick, and with it like this, you'll take the bolt, the little extension rod, the smallest one it comes with, you'll put it in the socket extension like that, and with the harmonic balancer on, it will be so like up forward. With this, you'll, like I said, you'll clamp the harmonic puller on, and then you'll use that big bolt it comes with and just keep going. So it's, you know, if your O'Reilly's or AutoZone doesn't have the Ford specific one, this one will work. It just takes a little bit of tweaking, and it's super easy. Alright, you guys, so if you can see, the timing cover is off finally, and now the easy part, getting it into time lined up so I can pull the timing chains and everything off and get it going. But there is, if you can see at the oil pan right here, there's 4 bolts. So the 2 on the end are 10 millimeters, and the 2 in the middle have 10 millimeter nuts on them, and then 13 millimeter to get them off. But alright, so if you can see down here, the keyway is at 12 o'clock. Yeah, 12 o'clock. The keyway on the main crank. And then another way to make sure it's in time is, if you guys can see the R, sorry for the lighting, that's pretty bad. There's an R right here, and that's should be facing up. So with it in can't even talk. With it being in time like it is right now, let me move that. So what you're gonna want to do is take the 2 10 millimeter bolts off the tensioner. It's gonna release tension off the chain. You're gonna take the timing guide off, and then you'll take the chain off, and then the second timing guide. And all right, so everything's off. Oil pump gear is off, so it's about 8 T30 bolts to get the housing off the oil pump. This is the stock oil pump, and somewhere over here, stock crank sprocket. One thing I did mess up on is when you are putting this into time, you want to make sure the R is up on this gear down here, not this one. So don't know if it's going to be in time when I put everything back together. Hopefully it is, because the R is facing up, all the cams are neutral. L is facing up, all the cams are neutral, so I'm hoping it's going to be in time, and it's at 9 o'clock where it's supposed to be. And as far as the oil pump pickup, there's two 10mm bolts down here. Hold on, let me see if I can show you. This one in the back over here, sorry for the lighting, is a pain in the ass to get to, so I'd recommend going to, you know, like O'Reilly's, AutoZone, or somewhere and getting a wrench that's like bent like this. It's a 10mm, because that's the only way you can get to that one. You could bend your own, that's fine, do it. I just went and bought one because I didn't want to bend mine. But yeah, everything's off, and I'm gonna put the new oil pump gears in, and then crank sprocket, everything. I'm gonna put it back together. I'm gonna button it up today. Get the timing cover on, the valve covers on, and then most likely tomorrow I will do all the hoses and everything, but I'll put all like water pump and stuff back on. But you're gonna want to put RTV, some kind of gasket maker, on certain spots, like here, you know, just around the timing cover and valve covers, that way it doesn't leak. New oil pump gears are in, and so MMR should be facing up like this way, so you can actually see it. I did oil it up to you know, so it's not just brand new metal in there, billet or whatever, steel, whatever. I did put oil all around it to make sure it's good. And one thing you are going to want to do, you're not going to force it in at all. Do not force it in. Let it drop in, you know, spin it till it drops in. And then this one, you know, you should make sure they spin freely. So like they spin freely like that. Sorry, it's hard to do with one hand, but it spins, no issues. It doesn't get caught up. As you can see, MMR stock one, MMR stock one, stock crank sprocket. I got the MMR one in the box over there. And you know, there's something I've always wanted to do, the stock one, and do the drop test. So let's see. I'm pretty sure these are good. You probably don't need them, honestly, because it didn't even crack or anything. But let's see again. There we go. And it broke. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the hype's real. But it did break, as you can see. That one I'm not going to mess with. I was curious to see if it really would break. It did. Maybe it's a good thing I'm replacing this. Alright, you guys, I know it's a little dark out, so forgive me. I'm going to try to show you as best as I can. But man, everything's in, as you can see. Trying to get the light. The new MMR timing chain guides are in on both sides. I got the MMR tensioners on both sides. Crank sprocket, the MMR Billet crank sprocket and oil pump gears are back in. Those two bolts on the oil pump, or sorry, oil pump pickup are a pain in the ass to get back in. Just take your time. And I did drop both bolts in the oil pan, but I did not pull the oil pan to get them out. I just used like a little magnetic thing to fish them out. It took me a couple minutes to fish them out. Got them back in. Everything's in time. And I know I told you guys that I kind of fucked up like at first, because I had the R on the top cam gear up, and it's supposed to be the cam gear that the timing chain's on. I've been so tired and I wasn't paying attention, and so I wasn't sure if it was going to be in time. But if you can see, the blue dot lines up with the mark, and you're not going to be able to see it down there because I'd have to get under the car and the lighting is terrible. But all of it lines up. It's all in time, so it's super simple. And you know, it's nice to have the new guides and oil pump and crank sprocket on. So if you do mess up and don't have the R up top on the passenger side like I did, and you have it on this cam gear instead, so what you'll do is just leave it in how it is with everything off, and spin the crank a full 360 until the R is up here, and you'll be back in the time, so you won't have to worry about that. I didn't know if it was going to work or not. And then when you take off the driver's side stuff, you go counterclockwise to 9 o'clock, and you'll be perfectly fine with the L will be pointing up like that, and you'll be perfectly fine. So I didn't know if it was gonna work, but it did work. So I'm happy about that, because I would have been probably crying a little inside if I fucked up the timing, but thankfully I didn't. Chains are tight, no slacking them at all. All right, you guys, a little update for you. Pretty much got everything buttoned up on the car, except, for like the main stuff, like the pulleys and all that, but I'll show you right now. As you seen in the last clip, the MMR, all the MMR stuff was in there. Got the timing cover, got the valve covers back on, gotta put the main pulley back on, the water pump back on, alternator has to be bolted back up. What else? All the little pulleys have to be put back on, and then the serpentine belt, and then throttle body. And I'm not gonna bore you guys by showing you all that. All right, you guys, so pretty much everything is buttoned up. I'll show you. The lighting's kind of bad, I don't have my light with me, but everything's back together. It was in time. So right now I don't have any coolant in it, because I'm just gonna start it right now and see if it it's perfectly fine. Run it for like 15-20 seconds tops and turn it off. But this is gonna be the first startup, so I'm gonna go start it right now. Wish me luck. I did it. First time I've ever did anything like that. I am so happy right now. That little screeching you heard at the startup was my AC belt. I forgot it wasn't on. But I'm gonna shut the car off, because like I said, there's no coolant in it. But I'm gonna give it a little rev. There we go. Oil pump gear and crank sprocket installed. And I just got to remove the AC belt like I said, but this is where I'm going to end the video. So if you'd please like, comment, and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.